would have said that I would cut them to pieces and blot out their memory from mankind. If I had not dreaded the taunt of the enemy, lest their adversaries misunderstood and say, our own hands have prevailed. It was not Yahweh who did all this. Yasharal is a nation devoid of counsel, with no understanding among them. If only they were wise, they would understand it. They would comprehend their fate. How could one man pursue 1,000 or two put 10,000 to flight unless their rock had sold them, unless Yahweh had given them up? Awake, family. Mashpacha Arah. All right, Mashpacha. Shalom, I'm back again. And for those who missed my last video, and you feel like kind of confused or whatnot, turn this up. You feel confused? I was not saying that the Hamites are Israelites. Neither was I saying that every time you hear African in history, they talking about the northern tribe. What I was showing is that the original meaning of the word Apar came from a Shemitic man. And in fact, there is no Hamite recorded in the genealogies in the book of Barashayat, that's Genesis chapter 10. There's no Hamite recorded. There's no Kemetic person recorded in the whole Genesis chapter 10 and chapter 11 as Ophir. That's only implied when it comes down to Yoktan's son, the brother of Peleg, the sons of Eber, where they get the word Hebo, Eve, Igbo from. That's the only one that it applies to. All right, it applies to a Shemitic tribe named Alpar that was reclassified and renamed Ophir, and to put everybody together as one big NIGG, they just say African. And now in America, in order to make the identity of people that had lost their identity and regaining their identity to be more obscure, all they do is just say everybody is an African or everybody is black if your skin color is this color, if you from Africa, or they just say we all from Adam in order to muddy the pool, to cause people who have a amnesic state as a people, who just came out of an amnesic state and was awakened by the glorious and awesome wisdom of Yahweh, to put them into a state of confusion and perpetual victimhood, where we can never see our people as our people and to never really look at what has happened. All right, now I'm going to show you that not everybody, you can look at actions. Actions speak louder than words. Messiah said, if you don't believe me for my word's sake, if you don't believe me for my work's sake, you could believe me for my word's sake, for they do testify of me. But you can believe him for his word's sake. If his words came to pass, then it shows visible evidence. All right? Nobody that go out there to pick a grape will go to a strawberry tree and only pick out a strawberry trees and say, I'm looking for grapes. They'll go to a grapevine and look for grapes. So in like manner, when somebody is looking for a specific thing, when the police looking for somebody and they had on a white t-shirt and blue jean pants, on the white t-shirt, It had Atlanta Falcons on there. I don't know. And they said the person was 7'3". They're looking for this person. Skin complexion, kind of caramel. The name must be intact. And you know when people take it serious is when their life is the one on the line. If they cared about the other people, they'll take it serious as well. But you'll really see a person take it serious that if they has a history of not taking things serious, if their life is the one on the line. So since the redemption of these people that people want to reclassify, reform, reclaim, shape up, move here, move there, erase history, erase facts, tell a person that experienced something, you didn't experience that even though you seen it. Up is no longer up, down is no longer down, right is no longer right, left is no longer left, air is no longer air, English is this, that. Reform, that's called wizardry. That's called witchcraft. I want you to get your Bible ready for Jeremiah 30 and Deuteronomy. We're going to go to that verse what I told y'all, that if you going on down, you'll see it's written about us in the last day right here as well. Now, and it says right here, so I'm going to prove it to you. That's what we at. This is Deuteronomy 31. That's what we was talking about right here. Prince, judge, and he called the people of Yasharal Prince, judge. And when you went over here with me, I showed you that he says that the Ayash wa Asha, the male and the female, wa Banayam, and the children were called out first. And who were they called out from? Yasha'al. They were called out by Yahweh's leaders to this place. All right, and then the strangers that was in the gates, they were gathered together that they may hear. Those who never learned, they got to learn. All right. So it went through protocol. Yasharal was called out first, like he said, and Masha went and spake these words unto call Yasha Allah. All right. So now, if you missed that one, it's the last one that I did. It's the last, excuse me. Excuse me. It's the last video I did. And the video was named Filling the Empty Place. All right, I ain't been feeling well, and something bad happened, and I had to take a break. And for those of you that I wrote, you know what I'm talking about. So what goes with that is what I've been doing. And I've been doing that since that happened. All right. Verse 16. And Yahweh said unto Masha, behold, you shall sleep with your fathers. That means you gonna die. It don't mean you just finna go to sleep. And Yahweh said unto Masha, behold, you shall sleep with your fathers, and this people will rise. So we see this right here. When Yahweh said, behold, he sleepeth, he was speaking Abar. So when Masha say, and when Yahweh spake unto Masha and said, behold, you shall sleep with your fathers, that's what he's talking about. He's speaking Abar to Yasha Allah. All right. And this people will rise up These people will rise up and go hoeing after other Alahayim of the strangers of the land, Canaan and whoever else that was in there, whether they go to be among them and will forsake me, whether they go to be among them and will forsake me. So the people of Yasharal will no longer be serving the creator of heaven and earth, as we see it written in the scripture that this is their Alahayim. So there's a people who don't serve their own, what they call God. They serve everybody else's. Well, it happened because of something bad happened. Well, let's read. Then mine anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them. And I will forsake them. And I will forsake them. And I will hide my face from them. And they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because Alawahayim is not among us? And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils, all the Ra, which they shall have wrought, in that they are turned unto other deities. Now, therefore, write ye this song for you. Now, this is what the Song of Masha is about. I can't pause my mic. I'm gonna pause it real quick. I can't pause it mid-speech, but hold on. All right, I'm back. Now, therefore, write ye this song for you, and teach it to the children of Yashar Allah, Prince Judge. That's our name. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Yashar Allah, Prince Judge. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves, and waxen fat, got real rich, then will they turn unto other deities. They will so, when you full, you don't want nothing else. I'm talking about rich, when you're full. Like, when you eat and you ain't want nothing else to eat, when you satisfied, when your stomach, when you don't want nothing else to eat, you are actually satisfied. You don't want nothing else to eat. You done drunk you something to drink. You don't want nothing else to eat. You don't want nothing else to drink. You don't want nothing else to eat. You are satisfied, right? You're in a good place. You don't got to worry about being evicted. You ain't got to worry about nothing. All of your affairs, everything is lined up. You are waxing fat all the way around in your whole life, in your tribe, in your people, right? You okay. Then when they waxing fat, when everything is straight and taken care of for them, and they all lined up, and their stuff is running smooth, like they say, smooth like butter, then will they turn unto other deities, and that's what we messed up. And serve them and provoke me. See, but we forget a lot of times, or we don't even want to think about it, that the person that we cut the covenant with got feelings, whether we think that they're important or not. And if somebody cut us off at the road, we ready to, but if he tell us get out my land, then we can't understand that, right? And break my covenant. If a man sleep up on his old lady, or if his old lady sleep up on him, we understand that there's consequences, right? But if we creep on our creator with everybody, with Tom and Harry and them, then now all of a sudden we can't understand no more. We want rights, because nations are considered as females, and we want rights, male and female nations. We want rights, male and females, that make a nation from a bloodline. We want rights, right? We want feminism. So we've been fighting against Yahweh, right? And break my covenant, broke the marriage covenant. That's what we did. Now, what am I saying? Oh, they so righteous. We so righteous. Look at us breaking marriage covenants with Yahweh and sleeping and creeping up. But that's what we did. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befalling them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness. This is an eternal song to testify against us. Well, somebody told me today, that's not us. That's not us. We not the people. That's what somebody told me today. I wanted to respond, but I said, you know what? I'll respond with a video. For it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. Oh, so we're going to keep reading the Bible, huh? We're going to be Bible reading people? Oh, we're not going to allow ourselves not to remember. So we're going to actually remember this? And it's not going to be forgotten out of our mouth. So it's going to be done, is what he's saying. But it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. So the seed going to remember what their fathers did. Oh, so what's the importance of remembering who your fathers is and what they did? For I know their imagination, which they go about, even now. So even back in them days, Yahweh already knew their imaginations before I have brought them into the land, which I swear. He swore. See, we promise somebody something, we break it. America promised 40 acres and a mule, and they break their promises. They made peace treaties with the indigenous, but they break it. Somebody borrowed $5 but they break their promise. They ain't gonna give you back that $5. They should have just told you that they can't afford it. Matter of fact, why don't they just tell you right now they can't afford to give you the $5? And they apologize for lying to you. Excuse me. Couldn't pause at that time. Marsha therefore wrote this song the same day and taught it the children of Yasha'Allah. I joke with people sometimes about $5. So if you listening, I'm not talking about you. Marsha therefore wrote this, and to the person that it applied, they know who it is, who I'm talking about. The person that I just said
that that was a joke, don't take it in the wrong manner. You know who you are. And taught it the children of Yasha'Allah. And he gave Yahushua, the son of Nun, not the one that died on the tree for your sins and transgression, but they got the same name, and his name is Yahushua, right? Joshua is not Hebrew. Yahushua means Yah, he, salvation. And he gave Yahushua, the son of Nun, a charge and said, be strong and of good courage, for you shall bring Habanai, Yasha'Allah into the land, the children of Yasha'Allah into the land which I swear unto them, and I will be with thee. So as we see here, there's a promise that Yah gave to the children of Yasha'Allah back then through his leader Masha and through his leader Yahushua, that Yahushua would lead them into the land. And then we have a prophecy. Oh, let me keep on reading. And it came to pass when Masha had made an end of writing the words of this law. Wait a minute, law? So you got to keep the law, right? You put on your seatbelt, stop at the red light. Green light mean go. Yellow light mean, treat it as a stop sign. Proceed with caution. Left, the red on the left signal, when you see that sign pop up, that means that's you supposed to stop and you can't turn, right? But if you're on the highway and the light is red and the pathway is clear and you could turn right, you could treat that red light like a stop sign on the highway and turn. Some people don't treat it like that. They say, I'm gonna wait till the light pass. But there's laws of the road. They say ride 80 miles per hour, you ride 80 miles per hour. Do that mean you better than the other person that's riding 80 miles per hour? Do that mean you better than the person that riding on the horse that can't look at no scope and they riding off the road? Do that mean you trying to be better than somebody? That mean you trying to keep the laws of the road, right? In America, right? If somebody stole your goods at school and you go to the teacher and you say, teacher, somebody stole my goods, is you thinking you better than somebody because you want your money back that your mama had told you to go and pick up from the bank to go and pay the bills and make sure you pay for the bill over at the hospital so that the person in your family can't die? Or do you want your money so that you could go and handle business with the money that y'all allotted to you? Do that mean you think you better than somebody? No. But anything can be flipped and turned and twisted when a person don't want to hear it. Hold on, y'all. Let me pause this. All right, Mashpaka, I'm back. So we're going to finish this today. All right. So let's go over here to Jeremiah. Matter of fact, let's read this because we need to see this. All right. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to read this. And if I'm led to explain it, then I will. Then I'm going over to Jeremiah. That Mashah commanded the Levites, Lawai, which bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, saying, take this book of the Torah of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of Yahweh your Elohim, that it may be there for a witness against you. For I know your rebellion and your stubbornness. For I know your rebellion and your stubbornness. Look it up. Stubbornness. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. And how much more after my death? So this is Mashah talking to the ancestors of the people who's going to go through something called being put on cargo ships and transferred to every nation on the earth as slaves, put on auction blocks, not given no redemption. Have been rebellious against Yahweh, and how much more after my death? Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call Shamayam wa Arats to record against them. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I commanded you, and evil will befall you in the last day. What did it say here? And evil will befall you in the last days, because you will do evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Mashah spake in the ears of all the congregation of Yasha'Allah the words of this song until they were ended. So if evil will befall you in the last days, right? Because even in the last days, evil will befall you in the last days. Why? And you will turn aside from the way which I commanded you, and evil will befall you in the last. So when they turned away from the words that Yahweh had commanded them, and then evil will befall their descendants in the last days. Right here, it said right here. So in the last days, evil will befall them. Now, what evil did Yah say will befall the children of Yasha'Allah in the last days, family? What evil did he say will befall them in the last day? He spoke about it in Devarim chapter 28. He said, if you don't keep these commandments, this evil will befall you. Not just the transatlantic slave trade ships. That's why they say transatlantic. That word, what they say Atlantic was the name for Ethiopian Ocean. The scripture has that in there. When it says Yam, that means ocean. When you were dispersed in the Yam on ships, not the river, but the Yam on ships, that means you were scattered in the oceans. You don't have to be traveling from no Kemet on no slave ship. What they finna do? Drag the ship with a rope like the Pirates of the Caribbean? No. So when you read this here, You can read more about this here. And there's many prophets that say the same thing was written in verse 7. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 11. But let's start at verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh say, thus speaketh Yahweh Elohim of Yashar Allah, Prince, Judge. See, we ain't doing our job, right? We supposed to be the light. Thus speaketh Yahweh Elohim of Yashar Allah. Yashar Allah. Say, Yashar means prince. Allah means judge. Yashar Allah. Say, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto you in a book. So what he say? For lo, for thus speaketh Yahweh Elohim of Yashar Allah. Say, write you all the words that I have spoken unto you in a book, in a scroll, sapar. For lo, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yashar Allah, and Yahweh die. See, you got to know, if you know the history of Yashar Allah, you know that the kingdoms was split during the days of Shalomon, King Shalomon, Malach Shalomon. Well, it wasn't divided during his lifetime, but during the lifetime of his children, out of a promise for his father, Malach Dawad. And Dawad found favor in Yahweh's eyesight. Even though Dawad had a past, and Dawad did things that he wasn't happy that he did in his lifetime, Dawad had a relationship with Yahweh and was able to obtain mercy. Now watch this. Captivity of my people, Yashar Allah, and Yahweh. So that this means that a divided kingdom would be in the captivity, said Yahweh. And he said he's gonna bring again the captivity. What do that mean? Let's keep going. Said Yahweh, and I will cause them to return. So they're gonna go into captivity, and then he's going to cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers. So for somebody that say that the slave ships never happened, they actually telling you not to look at reality in history. They're even asking themselves not to believe reality in history. Because if they say that there was no people put into captivity as captives, war captives, over their country, over their freedom, in order to take a sandwich from somebody as your property, as your captive property, you take it from them, right? If you purchase it, that's a different story. But if somebody take it, if somebody give it away, but the other people, they taking it like it's their property, right? Said Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And they shall possess it. So wherever they at, they're going to leave that place and be returned to the place that was given to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Did it say they shall possess it as people with checks to buy some land from somebody? Did it say that they would have to go and beg the UN for rights? Did it say they would have to beg the African countries that sold them for rights? Did it say that they would have to beg the dark-skinned Shemitic countries and the people for rights? And these are the words which Yahweh spake concerning Yashar'Allah, concerning Yahwadah. Look, concerning Judah, the southern tribe. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling. We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask you now and see whether a man do travail with a child. Now, a woman travailing with a child, brothers, we can't understand that right there. Let me turn my mic down. A woman travailing with a child, brothers, we can't understand that right there. But what if a man asks yourself, family, ask yourself and see whether a man do travail with a child. Wherefore do I see every Adam, every Ayash, with his hands on his loin, like he a woman giving birth to a child? Do y'all understand this, what y'all is painting out? Ain't nobody else go through this right here. Now somebody say, oh, the slave ship never happened, so white people, it came and found us over here. So you have no claim for no all the stuff we talking about. If you believe that you was already over here, you ain't experienced none of this. We the same people. We was already over here, and the ones that was brought over here wasn't that one, and this and that and the other. If you believe all that, that's up to you. But I'm telling you that that's not real. That's not real history, because the slave ships happened. Let me drink this. Them slave ships happened. Ask now and see whether or not Dom doth travail with child. Ain't no other nation go through this right here. You the only people that can explain how. You the only people that know how this feel without even having a child. A sister can be 60 years old and know how it feel to be in travail with a child and never had a child. We the only men on earth that know this feeling right here without even knowing that we know how a woman feel in childbirth according to the scripture. Now, some people that don't want to believe in y'all that's feminists, they'll fight against this and say, well, I don't believe the Bible. Well, that's your problem. Wherefore do I see every Adam, every Ayash, with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. You know what that means? Into fear. When you see grown men like they in childbirth, you know how a woman, you ever seen the women in labor? A woman, a sister, y'all know how it be. Baby, you here. Baby, is labor easy?
No.
Say it loud so they can hear you.
No.
Child labor ain't even. I asked my mother, she said a man don't understand this, but look at what y'all say. He said the men of your nation, mama. The men of our nation, mama. The men of your nation, sweet baby Val. The men of your nation, They understand this feeling right here. Ain't no other man that can understand how y'all feel but these men right here. In that child room, in that labor room, all faces are turned into pale. Can you imagine however many women it is in every country that's all giving labor to a child at the same time, in the same time, at the same clock on the same day? Can y'all imagine the sight of that? Now look at a whole nation that's going through this kind of pain right here. Alas, for that day is great. That's why he say that's a great day. Now somebody say that it's a greater pain that they can feel. Well, hey, you might be right. But guess what? Our people done been burnt to the stake and all type of stuff. Shot down and all type of stuff. Done been essayed and all type of stuff. Name it. Hung on tree, ate. Alas, you see your mama get all in front of your children. I saw some of our people swimming out there in the water for their child that then got gunned down in the middle of the water because they needed help. They didn't come out there to save him. They came out there to shoot at him like he was an animal out there in the water. Killed them dead out there. It say, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. See, our ancestors didn't even want to experience this day right here. It is even the time of Yahweh. Wait a minute. So let's go up here. What is he saying about the time of Jacob's trouble? So let's look at the time of Jacob's trouble. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. I don't know if y'all, have we had peace yet in these countries? Or are we waiting for the slave ships to happen? Are we waiting for the travail to start? And what does trouble mean? Jacob trouble, not everybody on the earth trouble. Ya'aquabah's trouble. The heel grabber's trouble. Not Ashal, not Esau's trouble. Not all life matter trouble. But Ya'aquabah's trouble. You know, the one that they say, get over it. It's in the past. You lazy. But he shall be saved out of it. So that's all they say in this part right here about Jacob trouble, that he shall be saved out of it. Now, some of our brothers say that Jacob trouble mean it's going to come after the slave ships. And some of us say that the stuff that we going through with got off the slave, that was some trouble. Some of us say nobody ain't going through this kind of trouble right now. And some of us say some of us is. I'm not here to argue that right now. I'm not here to argue that at all. The only thing I'm showing is that we is the only people that's going through this right here. For it shall come to, so right here. So when you see this right here, you go to verse 8 and it say 4. So you go up, you see, but this is there for 4. And we're going to read. It's a continuation of this. 4. It shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh, they say Tisbiyot, Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off your neck. The yoke that's on our neck. Yahweh said, take my yoke. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. He put the ox out there and he don't muzzle the ox mouth. The ox ain't got to work and do free labor. The ox ain't got to work and not get the corn that he worked for. The ox ain't got to work and not get the payment for his work. He don't have to work out there for 200 to 500 some years and not get paid for his labor. The ox ain't when Yahushua got the yoke, his yoke on his neck. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. So the apostles during their day, when they was alive walking with Yahushua, he told the people out there, take my yoke on you. Take my yoke, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So when you look at this thing, if they rejected him, they didn't receive his yoke, even though they was in the midst of all that stuff going on out there in the land. They still, if they rejected Yahushua, they rejected his yoke. So what is in his yoke? When you receive the real Messiah, you receive his yoke. But if we have a false Messiah, the one that is used to propagate this stuff and keep it going, the one that is used to say that you 3/5 of a monkey, you're of an ape, the one that is used instead of the original one, the one that's got hair like wool, like lamb's wool, and got flesh like brass, and according to Revelation, as if it burnt inside of a furnace, that is blight. That's dark. He say that I will break his yoke from off your neck. So he gonna break the yoke off of your neck. So you were gonna be yoked up to another. You gonna be yoked up to nations. They gonna be pushing you like you an ox. You're gonna be yoked up to them. That you an ox. You know, chattel slavery, like an animal. You yoked up to them. According to this same prophet Jeremiah, that you're gonna discontinue from your heritage. You're gonna forget yourself. And I will bust his bounds. He gonna break your slavery, your chains, your bondage. And strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So when Yahushua break this new master from off of you, the one that's owning you, because see, we just read up here say you were going to be captive through the same prophet Jeremiah that prophesied. He did not say that Masha is a false prophet. Masha, if you follow Masha, you fell away from grace. That's not what Jeremiah taught. And the apostle Sha'awal taught from Jeremiah, and he taught from Masha the prophet. And he didn't say that Masha is a false prophet, and if you follow Masha, you fell from grace. If you read that and you don't understand what the apostle Sha'awal say, he say, if you do lamb sacrifice after the original lamb has already come, that ain't no, that's like, you cannot say that Masha spoke against that Masha or even the apostle Sha'awal, who was called by Yahushua, who was prophesied to come on the earth and keep the commandments, and spoke to Masha, who was a scribe that understood Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew. That kept the commandments, that kept the feast and everything. He was a officer. You can't say that the apostle Sha'awal said that Jeremiah was a false prophet. He did not say that. He say that bonds and strangers, you know, people that's not your people, foreigners, you know, people that's not your people, God shall no more serve themselves of him. So everybody is getting fat off of you. They serve themselves of you. You is the ox. You the one, oh dear Yahweh. But they shall serve Yahweh their Elohim, talking about Yasha Allah, and Dawad their king. What does this say? Did the scripture say that he will always have somebody to sit upon the throne of Dawad? So Dawad's predecessor was Shalamah. So why didn't he say, Shalamah your king? Okay? Why didn't he say, Hezekiah your king? He made the promise to Dawad, for Dawad's sake, that I will never, you gonna always have somebody to sit upon your throne, Dawad. So people can do all they doing, all what they can, but Yahweh has already preserved himself a remnant, and he also has Yahweh Shai, who is the rightful heir to the throne. Somebody putting up a false image and pushing that on the children of the kingdom who have a choice. You gonna submit to this false deity that wants you to be in bondage forever? Or is you gonna submit to the one that's recorded in Revelation that's gonna come back and smite the earth with the sword of his mouth? Who got hair like wool and flesh like brass, as if it burned in a furnace. And that is dark. If I don't know what dark is, that is dark. That is dark. Whom I will raise up unto them. And according to Leviticus, they say that the children of Yasha Allah have dark skin. And according to the judges, that they can lock up. Like Samson had locks in his head. Like Elisha had locks in his head. Elijah had locks in his head. Elijah, you know, a lot of people talk about the Muslims, how they say Elijah. Elijah had locks in his head. Yakanan had locks in his head like Elijah. Come on, Mashpaka. Whom I will raise up unto them. Whom I will raise up unto them. Even Yaaquaba had an afro when he laid his head on that rock out there in the desert, in the Sahara. And he saw the ladder that they called Jacob ladder, Yaaquaba ladder. An afro. He laid it on the rock. He laid his head on a rock and went to sleep. Therefore, fear you not, O my. So who Abid is you supposed to be? Whose servant is you supposed to be? Who Abad is you supposed to be? Is you supposed to be they ox, or you supposed to be Yahweh's Abad? And Yahweh said, I no longer call you I don't listen, you are his servant, but he said, I call you a brother. He said, I call you friend. He said, you are my brothers, but I not only call you brother, but I call you friend, for a friend sticking closer than a brother. It was his own brother that betrayed him. Yehoiada, Judah Iscariot. It was his brothers and sisters that said, may his blood be on our children. Lynch him. It was his own brothers that slew him on the tree. And behold, he could count all his bones. O my Abad, Ya'aquaba, said Yahweh, neither be dismayed. Hold on.
I would have said that I would cut them to pieces and blot out their memory from mankind, if I had not dreaded the taunt of the enemy, lest their adversaries misunderstood and say, our own hands have prevailed. It was not Yahweh who did all this. Yasharal is a nation devoid of counsel, with no understanding among them. If only they were wise, they would understand it. They would comprehend their fate. How could one man pursue 1,000 or two put 10,000 to flight unless their rock had sold them, unless Yahweh had given them up? Awake, family. Mashpacha Arah.
But Mashpaka, I'm back and I'm almost done. And if you ask my wife, it ain't been easy these past couple of days. But and it ain't been easy this past year, last year, whatever. But we don't come online to try to complain. We come on here to encourage people and tell people the truth. But they shall serve Yahweh de Aliyah and Dawad de King. So we ain't gonna be serving them no more. Dawad de King, whom I will raise up unto them. Now look at this. This is why I want to show you. Therefore, fear you not, O my slave, O my servant, said Yahweh. Ya'aquaba said Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Yashar Allah. For lo, I will save you from afar. Your seed, your descendants, because he's talking to our ancestors in here. But he's talking to us right here. Your seed, you the seed, from the land of their captivity. And Ya'aquaba. So who is this Ya'aquaba here? Jacob, Ya'aquaba, shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet. Lach, and none shall make them afraid. For I am with you, says Yahweh, to save you. What nobody else gonna do for you. Because they don't see no value in you. All you is a mule. Dollar bill, yo. Though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered you. Though I make an end of all nations, whether I have scattered you, yet will I not make a full end of you. But I will correct you in measure and will not leave you altogether unpunished. For thus says Yahweh, your bruise is incurable, and your wound is grievous. Look, family. Y'all said the position, the state of mind, the way that we is, he said, but I will correct you in measure. But he said, listen. He said, your wound is incurable. He said, the blow that y'all had took, that y'all taking right now as a people is incurable. They ain't got no medicine on the counter for you. It ain't no No healing aid for you. Now, see, people keep trying to do something that ain't never been done before. Do something that ain't never been done before, Negro. And they just labeled it all up in a boot scrap. I'm telling you what Yah say. He say, for thus said Yahweh, your bruise is incurable and your wound is grievous. See, year by year, we have lost hope in humanity. We have lost hope, and a lot of us have lost hope in each other. We lost hope in ourselves. Some of us going to get that bleaching serum, and some of us be on the block. We don't know what else to do. Some of us, we done just plumb gave up. Some of us is contemplating what that song that Tupac had wrote that I listen to sometimes. Contemplating to take yourself out. And even the doctors that they put y'all in, they say, so to say, cure you. They make it even worse because they don't even understand you. They trying to cure you from having feelings. Oh, family, they make you, you already going through enough, and they add on injury. They add on injury to it. Come on now. He say, and your wound is grievous. You know, if a boxer got in a fight, right, and they got injured real bad, right? And they could try to put some balm on there to heal it, but if it was too bad, he can't even fight no more. He out of there, right? You out of the game. You see, a lot of us, we still trying to, we got to keep on pressing. That's what we supposed to do. When the Son of Man come, shall he find faith? We supposed to be trying to work with each other and all that. But we need to always remember this scripture right here. Your bruise is incurable. Now the creator of the heaven and the earth said this to you about you. Your bruise is incurable and your wound is grievous. So anything that people can do to assist or whatever, it ain't nothing but a band-aid. It ain't nothing but a band-aid. Even if what they do can help all the people that didn't experience what you experienced, it'll heal them. It'll put them up on a good place. It'll set them up right, But with you, your wound is incurable. Your wound is incurable. There is none to plead your cause. Look at it. Now, would you look at here? You asked for reparation. Now, I remember you asked for reparations before everybody started saying that we shouldn't get none in North America. You asked for reparations worldwide. And what did everybody say to you? Who else is this here? They said that to the people in Haiti. They said this to the people in Jamaica. They said this to the people in Europe before we started losing our mind and going even more mad. They said this to the people in Africa that was descendants of slave trading at that time when nobody trying to identify with you. But when people saw a quick bag, they started all saying, hey man, But look at this right here. There is none to plead your cause. Even when people get stuff in your name. Look at South Africa. Look at West Africa. Look at Sudan. Look at what they call the Middle East, which is the middle of the earth. Look at Europe. Look at the islands. Look at your people. Ask yourself, is everybody doing good? There is none to plead your cause. Who pleading for you right now? They plead for homo life, for wildlife. What did the little baby say back then? The little baby said they'll plead for wildlife and not plead for black life. He said they don't even plead that look, that they may is bound up so that they can even try to heal you. You know what I'm saying? Who you got to plead for you? You have no healing medicine. There's no healing medicine for you. Where's your remedy at? In every city you go in, you see a hood, you see a ghetto. And at any time you ask for help, it waxes worse and worse and worse. You ask for housing assistance, people skip you in the line. People come over and they get up higher than you. They use your history, get legal aid and all type of stuff, 900 and walk right on in and turn around and look at you and say, you lazy. You lazy. Right there in your face. Off of all of your free labor. They don't even care. Look, all your lovers have forgotten all the people that you have ravished all your love on. All of your love on. First pay all of your love. They seek you not. They don't care. Long as everybody got their paper, everybody got their bread. Hey man, for I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy. So who did this? Who allowed this to happen? Yah. With the chastisement of a cruel one for the multitude of your iniquity. Because your sins was increased. Y'all say it's because your sin was increased. Let's go up here. Am I saying that they is justified? No, that ain't what I'm saying. And family, I think y'all know that's not what I'm saying. Now, somebody else could tell you, oh, there was somebody that got hurt in 19. Listen, we vouched for them. Matter of fact, it was us that went over there and fought for them. Yeah, did y'all know that we was over there fighting in Germany for them? You go to the bank to try to get a loan. Go ahead, go today. Go to the bank to try to get a loan. I told you, go to the bank, get one. Get one. I tried to get one the other day. Get one. Go ahead. And if they give it to you, they're gonna add interest on there. Why cries you for your affliction? Say, why you crying out to these people? Your sorrow is a cure. See, you crying out. Have you ever hurt so bad that you crying out and even the cry don't even help you? Do you understand the amount of unmeasurable pain of seeing people mock you, ridicule you daily, and scorn you into derision until you go mad and end up locked up somewhere? And everybody look at you. Why cry you for your affliction? Your sorrow is incurable for the multitude of your iniquity. Aha. And this is why a lot of us say that we don't agree with the counsel of Yah. We say that this right here justifies slavery. No, it does not. What it say is that our iniquity made it possible. Because your sins was increased, I have done these things unto you. So what should we be doing? He say, if you hate your brother, whom you see every day, you ain't keeping no commandments. If you see your sister thirsty or your brother thirsty, hungry, in need, and you have it to give and won't help, You is not keeping no commandment. And we is in this state. So the way that we treated, our ancestors treated our king, we can honestly say that was messed up. But look at how a lot of us treat each other. You got Negroes online. You got Negroes online. Tap dancing. Look at this right here in verse 16, what it say. You tell me if the northern tribes sold you into slavery. Because if they did, then how in the world can Yah keep his promise that he wrote in Revelation? And also in this prophecy. Therefore, all they that devour you shall be devoured. And all your adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Let me read it slow. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm trying to lighten it up. And they that spoiled you shall be spoiled. And all that prey upon you will I give for prey, like Pastor Kelly said. I got the cough again. Hold on. So look at who will restore your health. So if we keep on looking, if we think America can restore your health, if you think the Caribbeans can restore your health, if you think Spain or Portugal or in one of these places, or even Africa, can the place that they call Africa now, the continent that they call Africa, can restore your health, family, listen to me. They not Allahayim. These places is not the one that's going to help you. He said, for I will restore health unto you. They not him. They not him. That thing that don't look nothing like Yahweh Shai, he not him. He not going to restore you. He not coming back in no cloud to save you. The one that's coming in the cloud to save you is, his appearance is recorded in Revelation chapter 1. He got hair like wool, flesh like brass, as if it burned in a furnace. That's who coming back to save you. For I will restore health unto you, and I will heal you. Did he not heal the blind man? Did he not heal? Did he not heal and cleanse the sick? Did he not do that? The very one that healed the sick, that walked down Yerushalayim healing, he said, this is what he promised. For I will, and see, you know, a lot of us, we get like the apostles them. He said that, behold, he sleepeth. And Thomas, he said, behold, let us all go up yonder so that we all may die. You know, a lot of them didn't understand. He said it plainly. He said, Lazarus is dead, but I'm come to wake him up, to get him up. He the resurrection. Now, he's able to raise the dead. Ain't it easier if he can raise the dead and put dust particles all back together of people that done got burnt to the stake on trees, or cremated because they ain't had the money, or cremated for whatever reason, or whatever, a whale shark or whatever, the great white done ate them in the middle of the ocean. If he able to put all those sinews and everything together, that's the hard part, ain't it? But he can heal you. He can heal us as a nation. He can heal us. Which one is easier, to build a house or to create a shark? For I will restore health unto you, and I will heal you of your wounds, said Yahweh. So why do the man get drunk? Why do the man smoke weed? Do people look at the weed and the drink and say that's the reason why they smoke weed and that's the reason why they drink? They not drinking for that. If you the only way you gonna understand why the man drank and why the woman drank and why they smoke weed and why a lot of people is hooked on rock or whatever they doing, the only way you gonna understand why people be cutting themselves and all type of stuff for what they do, you got to go through hell yourself in order to know what hell feel like. If you ain't never been shot before, if you ain't never had no experience where people pulled guns on you for something you ain't do, if you ain't never had police surround you at banks for you trying to get a loan, if you ain't never been through this right here, you don't understand why some people, not all, but some people pick up the bottle. How do they need healing? Yahweh Shai is the only one can heal that kind of right there. He already said the wound of your nation is incurable. So even the one that don't drink, you think that they ain't going through something mentally? I heard Brother Phil, he said he don't do none of that. He said when he leave America just to go on vacation, he said he feels so much better just to get, he said a weight drop off him, but when he come back, he said the weight come back on. Because they call you an outcast. Who they call an outcast? Is you called in a human family? Is you even treated like you in a human family? Or is you treated like an old, stray, nasty dog with fleas on you? Throw it outside. Is you treated like an old mangy dog? Well, you can't even say a dog because even dogs, if somebody kill a dog, they give them at least 10 years. This is Zion, whom no man seek after. Who looking for you? Who looking for you? Who looking for you? Who care about you? Really, I mean, really think about it. Who care about you? Thus said Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Aquabah's tents, and our mercy on his dwelling places, and the cities shall be builded upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof, and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. He ain't gonna have no Margaret Sanger program set up on you. That 3 strike law thing, you ain't gonna need that no more. You ain't gonna need none of that no more. Look at this. If he take you and put you how you supposed to be, you gonna know what's not common to you, what's not normal to you. That's how you know you in bondage. We don't even know how it feel to live a normal, common, what's coming. Don't know if you're coming or going. What can you say to a people like that done been dug inside out. But anyway, that's all I wanted to bring out today. And I think I'm done. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'm finna end this with the intro. And I hope that the people that been beating yourself over the head because of whatever you going through with, if you knew what happened to me and these past couple of days, if you really knew what happened to my family, in my immediate family, you'll be asking yourself, you'll know without a shadow of a doubt, this man didn't have to come on here and say any of this. He didn't have to come on here and say any of this. He had all rights to not come on here. I came on here because I know it's true. And I do see y'all as my family. And I'm about to get up off here, and I'm not talking about no mysterious, physical, fleeting bird flying in the sky, vegetarian thing, talking fairy tale stuff. But I got to go, fam. Shalom. You never know what somebody going through with. But when you know the truth, you will know it when you hear it. Shalom. I would have said that I would cut them to pieces and blot out their memory from mankind, if I had not dreaded the taunt of the enemy, lest their adversaries misunderstood and say, our own hands have prevailed. It was not Yahweh who did all this. Yasharal is a nation devoid of counsel, with no understanding among them. If only they were wise, they would understand it. They would comprehend their fate. How could one man pursue 1,000 or two put 10,000 to flight unless their rock had sold them, unless Yahweh had given them up? Awake, family. Mashpachat Harah.